Welcome, Jumpstarters. How are you guys doing today? My name is Beth Spiroff. I run the Jumpstart group, and today we are talking to Fabi from Boston, Massachusetts, and she is Lady M's Organizing, and we're going to talk to her about her business, how she's become successful, and how she's put this all together. So the first thing I want to do is say welcome.
Hello, everybody.
Nice to see you today. So I want to dive in and I want to go back to what was your life like before you were a professional organizer? What were you doing? Where were you living? What was like the life story there?
The life story behind it.
Yes.
Guys, I lived in New York for 20 years. So I was in a fashion business for like 30 years, I would say. And I was very into to fashion, and I was a visual merchandiser. I was a buyer. Life was crazy.
Yes.
So, I got transferred to Boston. I've been living in Boston for the past 12 years.
Mm-hmm.
And one happy day, and actually just backtracking a little bit, when I lived in New York, I used to have a lot of clients that would say, Fabiana, why don't you come into my house?
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then you see what I have and what I need. So I would take inventory. So, as an organized person, I will always say, you know what, let me organize everything first. And then we're going to take an inventory and I will see what your style, what you need, this and that and the other. So I was kind of doing a little bit on the side.
Mm-hmm.
And by towards the end of 2018, beginning of 2019, me and my husband used to have a lot of business together, and unfortunately he got sick, but everything is fine now.
Mm-hmm.
I just said, you know what? Unfortunately, a lot of sad things had to happen for me to take the leap.
Right.
So when my parents passed and my sister passed, I said, you know what? Now it's time to do something for myself.
Right.
I love doing it, and it's just for me. If I could do it every day, all day, for me is just a blessing.
Yes.
Yes. My husband is like, you know what? Sometimes I don't even want to charge people.
Yeah.
Because you do it with such a love, and you see, how people react, when you change their lives. It's just something so amazing and unbelievable that if everybody knew how being organized changes your life, you put that in your top priority list.
Right. Great. And what made you think, at one point you were doing it a little bit on the side, like you said?
Yep.
What made you think maybe I can do this and bring in some money for my family? I mean, what was that light moment?
Yeah, I had a light bulb moment. I was at my husband's business, like I said, like 3 retail stores. And then I said, you know what? I knew we were going to close, by choice, because, he wants to retire. It's a lot of work. I was working 80 hours a week, 70 hours a week. And I just said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to be bored, or, I'm a very hyperactive person. I said, you know what? That's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
And he said, what are you going to do? I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. And nobody's going to stop me. I have nothing to lose in something that I really love. And I just want to try it out.
Right.
And one thing led to the next. And then, of course, in the beginning, it's like hard. But I said, you know what? I'm not a quitter.
Yeah. You persisted for sure. Yeah.
Very persistent. Obviously, I always tell people that when you have a dream and you really believe in it,
mm-hmm.
and you know that it's going to work.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that in the very beginning, obviously, it was very hard, but I said, it's coming. It's going to be a tipping point for me. And I know I can smell it. I can sense it. Yep. It's going to happen. And finally, after, a while, it started to happen, and I couldn't be happier. I'm my happiest when I am organizing.
Yes.
For real.
Awesome.
I'm at my best. It's like the best.
Okay. Tell us all where you're from as well. Give us a little background on your home country.
Oh my gosh. Originally, obviously, everybody can notice an accent. Originally, I'm from Brazil.
Mm-hmm.
Moved to New York. I was 22 years old.
22. Wow.
And yes, New York, it's still my home per se, even though I'm from Boston. But New York, once you live in New York, is just like and then it's very interesting because all the time people say, "Oh, where are you from?" I'm like, "I'm from New York." And then, my sister goes like, "You're not from New York, you're from Brazil." I'm like, "I
Yeah,
know."
yeah. But it seems like home, I'm sure.
Brazil is, but you know what it is though? I left Brazil, I was like 21, 22. I was like so young. You think you old, but you're not. And I'm in New York, my home. And the minute that I stepped my foot in it, I said, that's the place I want to live. It's such a life changing experience. And
I'm sure it is. Yeah.
I had that background in Brazil. My dad also had a store, so I started working, in retail, and things it just like roll from there. It's very interesting how life
Right.
unfolds.
It's true.
Rather.
True. Yeah. Okay. Tell us about you've been with me for a couple of years. You took my 5-week course. Tell us about your very
Yes.
first organizing job and what that was like. The first time you had a paid client and you're walking in, how was that? Do you remember
I remember like so clearly.
Yeah, tell us about that.
The first job I had, it was non-paid job.
Okay.
Right. I want to get out there so much.
Right.
And I want to, get my hands on and,
Mhm.
practice my folding because, I love to fold.
Yes.
And I kept calling, everybody kept saying no to me. I'm like, but come on, people, it's for free. I'm going to do it. You guys have to trust me.
Yep.
And a dear friend of mine, which is an image consultant, she said, I can let you do my closet.
Nice.
I stayed in her house for about like 5 days.
Oh,
and
wow.
she was like, oh my goodness. I said, I want your honest opinion that if I can, really make money out of this. She's like, Fabiana, this is like perfection.
Really?
Also comes from the retail part of, the background that, the inventory has to be very neat and very organized. So it was always part of my life.
Yeah.
And the first paying job, believe it or not, it was a college student. She was moving back to Florida.
Yep.
And she's not even there. She's like, I want you to pack everything I have and send it to Florida.
Wow. Okay.
Okay. So we did everything by FaceTime. I would go like, can I get rid of this? Can I get rid of this? Can I pack this? Can I pack that?
Okay. Okay.
And people, I made $190.
Yeah.
And I came home with that money. I was so happy and so
thrilled,
excited.
I'm sure. Yeah.
And my husband being a number guy, right?
Yeah.
Like, babe. I said, this is just the beginning.
Yes, just the beginning.
And the first year I was in the red, obviously, because I like to study that. I'm always taking classes, is whether folding shops or organizing or visual merchandising. I'm constantly investing my money on education.
Right.
But it was my first job. And the second job was a garage.
Yep, I think a lot of us in the first year did a lot of garages and basements, and that's okay.
Garage, basement, attics.
Yep.
And then, thank God after a while, you just start to figure out what works for you.
What you want to do.
What best, what you can do more efficient and faster. Right. And you know what direction to go after all those jobs that you did in the beginning. Yes.
So obviously your niche is closets. So tell us how with your merchandising background, tell us how you decided just to focus on closets.
Yeah. Okay. Focusing on closet is something like somewhat new. It's something that I've been for the past, I would say, 6 months.
Yeah.
Because, I had to, I'm very hard on myself, right? So what am I the best at it? What am I most efficient at it?
Right.
So I had this aha moment. I said, Fabiana, that's something that best. Materials, fabric, leather, suede, all sorts of things.
Yep.
All sorts of things.
Yeah.
So, and now I'm very into it, and I just found this niche, and that's what I do now.
Okay, great.
Now.
Tell us a little bit about your weekly schedule. Are there certain days you book time? Are there certain days you take off? What do you kind of do in your normal week?
I usually like to do all my consultations is whether on the phone or like by video, or
Okay.
if it's a bigger project, I like to go there myself. I usually do that in the beginning of the week, is whether Monday or Tuesday,
Perfect.
because I also help my husband on his businesses. So usually Monday is a tough day for us here in the
Got it.
office.
Makes sense. Mhm.
Yeah, I usually like to do my organizing between Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, sometimes on Fridays, because
Okay.
Mondays and Fridays that I'm in the office
Yeah.
doing other things. But if that, guys, it really that sometimes you have that recurrent client that they need you, I'm moving or I want to change station. So it's always an exception.
Yeah.
But it's usually between Tuesday and Friday.
Okay. Sounds good. Do you ever do nights or weekends, or do you try to keep it Monday through Friday?
I very, very rarely I do weekends, like I said, unless it's necessary. I like to do, I'm working a little bit different than other organizers. I like to do a 8-hour package.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Yeah, I don't like to do 3 hours or 4 hours.
You're
Only
doing a full day with your people, right?
I
8?
am a full day person. I like to finish what I start. And not only that, I don't like because once you start working with a client, as you know, Beth,
Yeah.
you can, you can tell that they start to get like an anxiety because everything is all over the place and everything is
Yes.
chaos.
Right.
The emotions are so high. And then they, a lot of times I get this feedback that people say, oh, Fabiana, I don't think, are you sure? Are you sure? I said, no, everything's gonna be done. And if it's a larger project, I like to put everything on the site very neatly.
Yes.
So it's nice work for the client. So I only work best in chunks of 8 hours.
Yeah. Okay. So that sounds good. If that works for you, that's amazing.
That's what it works. Yeah, exactly. That's what works for me. And I'm very direct. That's how it goes. It is
And
what
then
it is.
sometimes will you book like 2 8-hour sessions if it's a closet and maybe something else, or do you usually get the closet done in 8 hours? Most likely.
No, depends.
Depends, right? On the job. Yeah.
Depends on the job, depends on the person. It's like I always like to tell people, they say, oh, what do you mean you cannot do in 8 hours or 4 hours? And I said, usually my question is, how long do you live here?
Yes, yes.
How long it's been like this? So if the person says 5 years, 8 years, 7 years, 10 years, I said, okay, I cannot solve your problem in 4 hours,
Yes.
right?
Correct.
It takes time. It takes time. And, I'm very respectful. I like to touch everything. I like to double check the pockets and the pocketbooks. And
Yeah.
I always, I like you said, you always find something. You always find something. There's always a treasure hunt with
Right.
organizing a closet. So it's chunk of 8 hours. If it's less than that, I might leave, but it never happens.
You can find something to put back to that 8 hours, I'm sure.
Mhm.
So you're working 3 to 4 days a week, roughly, something like that? Just
Roughly.
depends on the week.
Yeah.
Okay. What has been your best month so far for sales? I know you've been doing this at least 3 years, right? You started in 19 or 20?
Yeah, believe it or not, the best month I ever had, not for, I'm just talking about 2022, was May.
Okay. Good. May,
And
good month.
sometimes in August, because in Boston, we have this turnover of moving.
In and out. Yep.
It's changing in September. So it's whether May or September, but this year was May. It was a great month for me. And then, I decided this summer to enjoy my summer a little bit more.
I'm off. Yeah.
So I just kind of took it easy. I took like one client, tops 2 clients a month. And now I'm going full force because I also do Christmas trees.
Oh, Christmas tree, cool. Do you do decorating and all that too in the holiday?
Yes, yes.
Nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
like I said, my niche is closets, but I also do Christmas trees. And I love doing like when post move.
Okay.
I love doing that.
Yep. Moving people in and unpacking them, right?
Yes, unpacking
Do that too.
because it's a new home, it's a new energy, and
Fresh slate. Yeah.
it's a fresh start. So I love doing that too. But I usually, like I said, it's closet,
Very
but
good. Very good. Let's go into what are 3 words that describe you as a person, not as an organizer, just in your life. 3 words that describe you.
I will say I'm very loyal.
Mm-hmm.
I will say I like to nurture people.
Mm-hmm. Great.
I love to take people under my wing. I love to help.
Yep.
And I would say I'm very forward
Forward.
and I'm
Okay.
grounded.
Okay. Good.
I
Good.
think being grounded for me, it's a saving grace.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
And then what
I
three
never
words?
forget where I come from. I never forget where I'm going. I
Good.
stay in my lane, keep my head down, and I
And just
just
focus, right, on the future. Good.
exactly.
Good. And then what three words would describe you as an organizer on a job and with your clients that you nurture so amazingly well? What would you say your three words?
I would say that I hate cliches, right? Because it's not me.
That's okay. Either
The,
way.
the details for me, I think it's the most important, right?
Yeah.
So for me, is the emotion
Mhm.
that to bring that relief to the client, to bring that sense of, you know, I'm at peace now. I have time for myself. I have time for my family. I love the aesthetics of it.
Yes.
You know, it's like emotion, organized, and aesthetics. Because when you have something that is pleasant to the eye, not
Right.
only you tend to keep it that way, but it makes you happy.
Yes.
Because if that is that chaos, that visual chaos, it's not productive for the soul. And I also believe that your home, you know, your home breathes, right?
Mhm.
So take all everything that is broken, everything that you don't like it anymore, everything that is no use for you anymore. It's like the house gets like this injection of new energy.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's a good way to put
I
it. I
love
like
that feeling. There's no better feeling. Even when I had like a few cases that the husband called me,
Mhm.
and you know, after I finished the job, I had this wonderful couple, and they said to me, Fabiana, you restore my relationship.
Really? That's amazing.
You and then you know, I'm a crier. You know, I am who I am. You know, I'm Latin, I'm Brazilian, I'm Italian. So that is no, the emotion is always there. And he said, you know, I was having so many troubles because we would fight over it, you know, bickered over it, and then you came in, and it's just like, you know, I fell in love with my home all over again. And me and my wife night is just such a lighter relationship now.
Oh, that's so great.
To me is very rewarding.
Yeah. You took out all that clutter and then what was remaining was the
Yeah.
two of them and they reconnected, right?
Yes. Correct.
That's amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah. Uh, Tell us about what you have accomplished in the last 1 or 2 years and what are some new goals for the future? Like you said, you're grounded, but you're always looking towards the future. What would
Yes.
you do
I have a
next
few
12
things
months?
going on right now. It's like I had, which I'm very proud of. I had this social media class that got uploaded to a very respectable online educational program.
Mhm.
So I did that.
Great.
And one of the goals for me now is maybe help other organizers, but in a sense of I have, like I said, I have a few projects going on.
Mhm.
So one of them is I like to help. I like to pick one person a month, or every 2 months, or every 3 months, that has no means and
Yeah.
needs my services. It's my way to giving back to the community. I know a lot of people, you know, you know, when you're disorganized, there's a lot of factors
Oh, so
that
many. Yeah.
occur.
Right.
So I noticed that people that have depression or post-COVID or
Right.
a breakup or loss of a loved one, they need my help, but they cannot afford it.
Correct. Right.
I'm trying to launch a program that I can help someone
Oh, that's amazing.
once every 2 months or once every
Right.
3 months to give back to people that, you know,
Really
so
need it.
welcoming to me. That is number one. Number two, it's also there is a lot of new people coming in into this profession that cannot afford even. They
Yeah.
don't even know how to set up a YouTube channel or an Instagram account.
Right.
Also give back to these people as well.
Yeah.
It's very important. I think the sun shines for everybody as long as you're consistent, you're
Yep.
honest, and you love what you do.
Mhm.
So give back, you get so much back.
Oh, for sure. Yes.
So I have, this is one of my goals. right? And I think when you love what you do so much, again, with another cliche, the money would just flows.
It does. It does. It follows. Mhm.
It just follows. It just follows. So my goal for 2023, I can't believe I'm saying that,
I know.
is to help the community, to
Mhm.
help that needs it, to help professional organizers, or even to do an upgrade for, because in my Brazilians are very famous for to be cleaning people,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Housekeepers and this and that and the other. And I want to upgrade that job for them so they can
That's
make.
amazing. Right. Give them a level up so they can start doing what you're doing.
Correct.
Yeah. Great.
Correct.
Love
It
it.
doesn't necessarily to be do what I do, but
Yeah.
I think when you over deliver to someone that is paying you for services, you get rewarded for it.
Right.
So it's always about giving back. It's
Good.
always about
Amazing.
giving back. So those are the two big projects of mine. And 2023 forward, I'm only gonna do closets. So
Okay.
see how it's gonna play out.
I think with what you've done so far, it will come. All the closet people, it will come. for
Hopefully
sure.
so.
Yeah. Okay. Last question is, tell me a little about your Instagram. I know you love Instagram. You do these fun videos, you do these crazy videos, but they're all organizing related. You're relatable.
I even
How
put
did
a
it
tutu
start?
on it, right?
Yeah.
No,
Tell me how that started.
it was the cutest thing. They asked me to organize this ballet studio, and she had like a lot of inventory. She need them, I said, you know what, I got you, because
Yes.
I've done that in the past. So for me, it's like a piece of cake.
Yeah.
So I bought this tutu on Amazon for $10.
Mhm.
I show up at the ballet studio with the tutu. Everybody went crazy.
Oh, that's amazing.
Others is like, give me your card. I
Amazing.
find this. It was like so cool. And you know what? I think people relate to you. You have to be. I don't believe in, oh, you have to create this persona. No, you have to be who you are.
Yes, for sure.
Can
Be real.
relate to you. When you try to create a community, when you believe in somebody, it's because it's relatable,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, and I'm just myself, and I'm not afraid to put it out there, because whoever follows me, whoever is part of my community, is gonna stay. If you don't like me, you don't like me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I think the most truthful you are to yourself and to what you believe in, that's who you attract for your community.
Right, right. Being authentic and being yourself is gonna just yield
Absolutely.
many, many, many followers.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And like we were spoken about, I have a lot of people, they hire me because I'm funny, I'm light, and
Yes.
and I still do my job the
Yes.
best I can.
Right.
And when you get into somebody, they're already like very scared and they have anxiety. And once you see that funny person doing their job and laughing about it and discussing and creating systems in such a fun way, oh, this girl is light. I think I can live with that.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it.
So I'm just being who I am. I'm
Yeah.
just being.
Love the approach. Love
It's
everything.
easy. It's so much easier to be who you are.
Yeah. Just be that relaxing, fun person that you are, and just let your personality shine through. Really. That's great.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, that's my daughter calling me. I'm gonna decline that and just say thank you so much for this hot seat interview.
You're welcome, Beth.
Thank you for joining
Anytime.
me, and good luck in the next 6 to 12 months with all your new projects and serving the
Thank you
community.
very much.
Thank you. Thanks
very
guys for
much for the
tuning in.
opportunity.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank
Have
you.
a nice day, guys. God bless.
Bye. Bye-bye.